Welcome back to a very long and overdue video. So if you couldn't guess by the name of today's title, it is a very exciting video because I'm getting back on Boris for the first time in 6 months. It has been a very long 6 months, and before I get into it, I think I'm just going to explain a bit about what his injury was, what happened, and just give you a full rundown on everything leading up to this point, because if you haven't seen my Instagram or haven't seen those updates, then it's quite likely that you don't know what's going on, why he's injured, or anything about it. So I'm just going to give you a full rundown here so you know everything, basically. Okay, so to start off, I think I'm going to jump all the way back to the start of the injury, which was back in February, and it is currently August, so that is a very long time. Back in February, it was kind of late February. It was a few days before our Spring Festival Championships, which obviously we were very excited about. Well, not we. Boris probably wasn't. I was very excited about because it was my first proper big show qualifying for anything. It was at Arena UK. I was so excited. And a few days before, he goes lame. And what's especially so disappointing about it is that he was going so well. Like, his dressage was the best it had ever been. And he was going so well. And then overnight, he just goes lame. And so that was really disappointing. And of course, we didn't really know what had happened because the day before, he had one of the best dressage sessions. We felt so positive about the show. And then he went lame overnight. He was walking in, and I could feel him tugging on the lead rope because of how much he was nodding and how lame he was. Now, back in February, obviously, it's very wintry in a way. I don't really know how else to word that. It's obviously very muddy and wet. And he obviously that tends to cause a lot of lameness issues, such as abscesses, maybe bruised frog, all sorts of injuries. Like, they can slip over, hurt their leg, I don't know, literally anything. It's all in the winter months because that's where it's so much worse. So we were very much like, okay, something's clearly happened to do with the mud or how wet it is. So we were like, maybe it's a stone bruising on his frog or an abscess, possibly. And we were really unsure of what it could be because he was trotting up so late and there was no heat or swelling or anything. And we had vet visits and they were like, we really don't know what it is. So we started pulsing him to see if we could draw something out. The next vet visit, they managed to find an abscess, but it was really, really deep. And they got it out. He was much better because he started getting a bit more lame and even more in pain. And then they found an abscess. And we were like, oh my God, it's such good news. Like, there's an abscess. Like, it could have been so much worse. That's so good. But yeah, so we were really happy about it being an abscess. Obviously, not happy. But you know what I mean? Because it's the best of a bad situation. And so yeah, we were really pleased because that could easily heal in a few days. But then a few weeks had gone by and it had not healed. And we were a bit concerned of what it could be. We were thinking that maybe because they had carved so much of his hoof out because of how deep the abscess was, that he was just a bit footsore. So we were like, okay, maybe he just needs some more time to heal. So we got him some hoof boots and he was a lot better with these boots on. And so we were like, oh, it has to be something in the hoof then. And then also we found an abscess in his other foot. It wasn't as bad as the first one and it came out and was released quite quickly and he never seemed to be lame on it. So we got hoof boots for both the hooves and he seemed a lot better. We took him in the school one time for a little run around and he was really, really happy going around, and we were like, okay, well, he knows his injury. He wouldn't do it if he was in too much pain. There must be something in the hoof. Maybe he's getting better finally. We weren't sure what it was. He had been lame for a long time at this point after the abscess had come out. So we contacted our vet and was like, oh no, our farrier. And we were like, he's still lame. We're a bit concerned. And he was like, I would contact a vet. So we contacted our vet and told him about the situation. And we went for a checkup and we got x-rays and we couldn't find anything on the x-rays. Okay, well, first of all, before this, we actually got x-rays from somewhere else, not from our private vet. We got x-rays and they couldn't find anything. And then when we went to our private vet, he didn't find anything on the x-rays either. He did more though, and he couldn't find anything. So yeah, we were a bit like, we don't know what's going on. And we did nerve blocks and stuff to try find the area of it, and it wasn't in the leg. We found out it was more in the hoof area, and it was, yeah, there was nothing there in the leg. It was in the hoof, but we just didn't know what or where. So we were a bit confused, but at this point we had ruled out laminitis, so it wasn't laminitis, so we weren't entirely sure what else it was. And our vet was still a little bit concerned, and as were we, obviously. So we had to make the decision to get an MRI for him, which obviously you don't want to do because they're very expensive. So we had to have the decision to get an MRI for him because that would get to the root of the problems and show you everything as part of their leg. It will show you everything, but obviously we didn't want to get it straight away because it's expensive. But we went to get an MRI, and that's when we had to have this sad decision to shave off his feathers, which, you know what, it wasn't a bad look. I quite like it. If it wasn't for dressage and showing, because dressage, they look more flicky, then I would keep them off because it's just much easier. But he does look really smart, like very sporty without the feathers on. But I'm never hogging him. I couldn't. It's taken us too long to grow out that mane. But yeah, so we had to shave his feathers off, which was a very sad decision. But yeah, and then we got an MRI, and we were very nervous about the results. And then they sat down with us to have a little chat about it, and it turns out it was a bruised pedal bone, which is nothing too major. But I'd say out of all the things it could be, bruised pedal bone is one of the best, so we got fairly lucky there. So the only way we think this could have happened is, for example, if he stands on something with his foot and then it twists, because there's a tendon that runs down all the way back on the back of their leg. So if somehow his foot twisted to pull that tendon, and that tendon connects to the bone, and if it tugs slightly, possibly could have caused a bruising. That's the way I think it happened, and I think the vet said. So yeah, something could have happened to hurt the tendon, pull it, and then it pulls on the bone, and that causes a bruising. And because there's little fragments inside the bone which are extremely sensitive, so even tapping it lightly could cause a bruising. So it's quite likely that just pulling it could cause a bruising, like it did. But we were really lucky that it wasn't a serious situation and it caused a tendon tear or anything like that. So obviously we were really happy because it meant that once he was healed, he'd be healed 100%. And there was no situation of it being weaker or like massive rehab or taking a really long time to heal or anything. So we were really, really pleased with that. Because just with a bruised pedal bone, it heals 100% better and it's good. So the vet said to us, give it 3 months on and off, because that allows time for it to heal and him be 100% healed so you don't make it worse again. We were like, okay, 3 months is doable. By this point, we had already had 3 months, and then they said 3 months more. And we were like, okay, that's doable. That's not horrendous. Like, we can do that. And then also we had to get special shoes for him, which have a slight incline on them to elevate his heel off the ground to allow it to heal, so it's not constantly on the ground. And then also have special insoles in it. And this was all just to help it heal. And then fast forward to now, and the past few weeks, we had him in the pen in the main field, and he was doing really, really well. He was very happy. We had him on bute for a while, 1 a day, and he seemed perfectly fine. He was getting much, much better in his walking and more positive, and we were feeling really good about it. And then we did a trot up a few weeks back, 4 weeks ago, and he was so nearly sound. There was a slight head nod. So we were like, okay, we've still got 4 weeks left. We're on track at least. And then fast forward to today, he's trotted up, basically sound. I can't really see any head nodding. So we sent it to our vet, and he was like, he doesn't seem 100%, but he is much, much better and very good. I'll show you the video here of Boris trotting up so you can see it for yourselves. But as you can see, it's much, much better. He's basically sound. But we're going to start walking, and I go on holiday in about a week and a half. So we're going to walk him until we go on holiday. And then when we come back, because we go on holiday for 2 weeks, hopefully he should be much better. So yeah, that brings us to today, my first day riding him in 6 months. We're just going to we're only doing 20 minutes walking a day, just keeping it slow, because obviously he's going to lost a lot of fitness and muscle. And also, he's just not going to be used to it as much because he's not really been exercising. So yeah, we're going to bring him back into it today. We're just going to do maybe like 10 minutes in the school, and then we're allowed to do a little road hack. So we could always just do 10 minutes little plod on the road. Nothing major, nothing high stress, just bring him back into it of course, and Boris is super, super good. So I'm not really expecting anything silly. The most he'll do is just spook, really. I can't imagine anything major. But when we turned him out in the main field for the first time, because he was in a pen in the field, straight away, head down, eating grass. Doesn't hoof around, buck, anything. Straight away eating grass. So I'm not at all worried about getting on him. Plus, I'm used to Joey. Joey does about 10 times worse. Boris does on a feisty day. But yeah, so gonna head down to the yard now and go see Boris. Hopefully his tack is clean. I haven't actually cleaned it. I was going to do that, but I need to find my riding boots as well. I don't actually know where they are. But yeah, so fingers crossed it all goes well. But yeah, obviously very exciting. We're heading up, making the trek to the top of the field. Boris is in the main field, and it's very annoying because he's like all the way up there.
In the rain.
In the rain. Yeah. I know. First ride. First ride in 6 months. I have a microphone, you might not be able to hear you. Oh well. First ride in 6 months. It's raining and it's August. What is this weather? It's very annoying. Like, that's his pen he was in. I don't know if you can see it. But yeah. Any words?
Good luck!
This is such horrible weather. I feel like, what's the meme? You know, the one that's like, don't make unnecessary journeys. Don't take risks in treacherous roads. Joey just cantered away. It's a good thing my horse is good. Don't take risks in treacherous roads. This horse is a little bit on edge. Sorry, I've got a bit of water on the camera, so it's a bit misty. Anyways, yes, he's a bit on edge. Borsicwood. I think I'm going to have to go in the school to start off with, for the sake of my own safety. Because he got a cobweb stuck on his nose and he's spooked. And he keeps trotting in, which he never does. So. This actually feels extremely surreal. Oh, look at Buzzle. Oh, Joey's a bit on edge. Look at him. Bless him. This feels very, very weird because, his tack has been in the same place for the past 6 months. It's been up there, just sitting there. Look how many saddle pads I have on top of it. Anyway, so I'm going to get his tack out now. I'm going to have to do a bit of groundwork before I get on because it's a bit dangerous otherwise because he's a bit spooky. But yeah, so I'm going to get his tack out. It feels a bit surreal, I can't lie. The saddle and bridle are on. It's all feeling, not bridle, sorry, the saddle and my hat are on. It's all feeling a bit surreal now. I need to give his saddle a good clean when we get home tonight. I'm going to take it home and give it a massive clean. But yeah, his mane has grown massively and it's really, really thick. Not thick, like messy and tangled. It is thick, it's gotten thick. But yeah. Time to put the bridle on now. We're going to need to do a bit of groundwork because I feel like he's going to be a bit spooky. The horse is all tacked up. He did so well because I put the brow band on upside down the first time doing it. So he just stood there while I had to fix it. And now the headpiece is inside out, but we're going to ignore that because I don't have time to fix it. I'll fix it later tonight. School wants to get him used to stuff so he doesn't spook. He's got such a short neck. I forgot how weird it is. Feels like riding a miniature pony. Yeah, he's done for the day. Do his feathers look weird? Yeah. It's so weird to be back on. Huh? Timing? Timing what? Well, I'm not going to go over that.
What are you timing?
Yeah, I know. No. It's fine. He's coming over. Big, scary boulder.
That's very close.
He's so cute. Right, anyways. We continue forth.
Your little head.
He's so cute. Yeah. I know, it went down so fast, I don't know how or why. Anyways, this is all there is to happen pretty much. We're just walking around aimlessly in circles. Nothing much really happening, to be perfectly honest. But I'm still very, very pleased because this is such a massive thing. Having spent so long doing rehab and trying to figure out what it is and just everything. So this is still really massive. But he feels just as lazy and slow as he was when we first got him, because he was so lazy then. So it's going to take a while for him to get back into it. But yeah, I think tomorrow we're going to go out on a small hike and do something really chill. I think today all the horses are a bit wired and it's a bit like windy and wet, and yeah, there's just a lot going on. So today we're just sticking to the school and we're not doing a lot. We're only doing like 10-15 minutes max. But yeah, so not much is really happening. Oh god. Apart from that little spook, which was again very minor. That is the most Boris does. Now he used to do a lot more. But yeah, so he is such a good horse. Just like to let me get on him for the first time in 6 months in the school and just plod around like this. Like most horses would never do that. They would gallop off. They'd be absolutely crazy. He doesn't care. He's actually so good. Thank you very, very much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope that explained anything. Please like, comment, subscribe, anything. Let me know if there's any particular videos you want to see. Obviously if it's a video like Boris jumping again, that's not going to be for a while, because yeah, we've only just come back. But yeah, so thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed and this explained anything. If there are any questions, leave them in the comments below and I'll see you next time.